Right, how's it going? It's me, Shotty4HF, and this is just going to be a short video because I'm kind of joining in on something here. It's a subject that I see popping up more and more as more people are now making their own music. They're creating their own songs and tracks because they have the means to do so with computers, laptops, software and plugins. You know, it's easier to get started now than it ever has been before. But the subject is how to finish a song, or how to make sure as a creator you're always able to finish a song or a project. And I'm seeing this a lot, and I get emails with subject lines like 5 reasons you can't finish a song and stuff like that. But honestly, and I don't mean this in, any kind of big-headedness, but it isn't something that I've ever had a problem with. Since I started making music, and, I produced my first solo electronic album around 2002, but I've never had an issue with finishing a song. Albeit, they have been over the years at varying levels of intricacy and quality, but they've all been complete. They've all been what I consider to be finished. And I wanted to share my advice and my opinion as to why I think that is. And that is all it is. It's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's the correct way or the only way it should be done. It's just how I've always approached it, and it works for me. And maybe it might work for someone else. Because even though I've not really had that problem, I can understand why it might be a block for some people. Why they might hit a wall and can't get past it. Because it's a decision that has to be made as a producer. When you are managing your own project and your own production processes, the decision as to when a track is done and it's finished, it's a decision that has to be made, and it's not always an easy one. And sure, I've put tracks down and then picked them up again, 6 months later and finished them. Sometimes I can't go any further, I can't make any more choices, and then I pick it up months later and finish it in one session. It all becomes obvious what needs to be done. Sometimes you just have to walk away and come back to it in a different state with a fresh perspective. So I have experienced that in a way where you hit a wall and it blocks you and you can't see past it. But this is what I do, and some other people might not. Here's a song on the screen now, and it's not finished. But from the very beginning, I make sure I have a complete arrangement. I have the foundations. It has an intro, it has the main section, it has a middle, and it has an end. And in my opinion, as an artist, once I have this layout and the full arrangement, I could say at any point that this song is done. Because in its own way, this is a song. And of course, if I make that decision too soon and say it's done before I've done everything I can, then it might not be as good as another song because it doesn't have the detail or the same level of care and time that someone else might take. But I'm still in a position to be able to make that choice. But what I don't do and try not to do is working on a section or a loop, certainly not for too long. Or let's say you have the intro and the drop, and then spend all this time mixing and adding stuff and trying to make the loop perfect when all you've got is 16 bars. Because that's all it's ever going to be. No matter how decorated and engineered it is, it's a loop, a section, 8 or 16 bars or whatever. And the thing is, it's easy to spend so much time on such a small section that it goes stale, and it's easy to lose the desire to take it anywhere else. And then if you do add a middle section and an end, that last part has to be as good, if not better, than what you've already done, especially if it needs to be kind of, progressive and build up to something. And this becomes a real challenge, and it's difficult to see the end. It's more difficult to take what you've already done and draw it to a close. And when you have the arrangement in its entirety, it is a better position to be in to be able to say the song is done, or it's complete, or I'm not adding any more. And obviously how much time someone spends on the detail and making it interesting and progressive and making the second drop sort of more impactful than the first and really making it a journey for the listener, taking that time might be what sets one song apart from another. And of course, a great song is a great song. Bob Dylan's Blowing in the Wind or John Lennon's Imagine. All you need is the piano or guitar and it's a magical, incredible song, if I'm using those as examples. But I'm talking more on the subject of electronic music production and possibly, subgenres of electronic music. But really any kind of home studio production where you have the option to add lots of interesting layers and sound color and get creative. But with the arrangement already in place, as a creator, and producer. You are then the beholder of the decision as to when the song is done or finished. But a loop, or just an intro, and exhausting all your effort to make the loop special and sound great, it will always remain a loop, or a part of a song. And I know some people who end up with project folders full of loops, or intros and drops, and they get frustrated, and they can never show anybody their work because the ideas are not presentable as a song. So they sit on them and never have anything to showcase. And that can be disheartening and feel like a waste of time. And I've met a number of people who have started to make their own music and given up for that very reason. So this is my advice, and I can't stress enough, it is only my advice. It might not work for everybody, but it works for me. Everyone has their own workflow and everybody is different. But I've definitely used this approach since I started making music, and it has given me consistent results, and I get satisfaction when working this way as opposed to frustration. So get the arrangement, get the direction of travel, and it's super important to know where the track is going to end. In some cases, it can be more important than how the track starts or where it begins. And of course, you can extend it. You know, you can add another verse or a repeat of the chorus. You just sort of chop it down the middle, move it apart and drop it in. But the structure is still intact. So, if you happen to be one of those music makers who is struggling to finish a song or all of your songs, all I can say is try this, it might work for you. I certainly hope this helps someone out there. Let me know in the comments, have you tried this? Did it work or didn't it work? Do you have anything you could add to this? You know, how do you finish a song? Do you think this is a stupid idea? I am open to all comments and feedback. It's all welcome. If you did like this video, please give it a like and subscribe because I have more videos on the way. There is a video on the Blue Arp Free Arpeggiator that is on the way. There are some other really useful plugins and tools that I found, and I look forward to sharing that with you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. What I'm going to leave you with now is this track that I'm working on, and I've used the same approach that I've covered in this video. There is still much more I will do to this track before I decide that it's finished, but you can hear it here for now for the first time, and I'll update you on my channel when this gets released. So that's it. It's Shotty 4HF, 4HF Records. Take it easy, keep creating.